It's Humans Disney fans, lend me your ears. Today we're breaking down the Disney dining plan. Is it right for you? Which is best for you? And how does it work? Let's chat. Hey everybody, Melanie here, and I cannot wait to get into the Disney dining plan with you today. But first, I gotta give an ear shout out. Today's ears are from Leah. Leah is 9 years old, and her favorite things at Walt Disney World were the Ohana breakfast over at the Polynesian Resort and the castle projection and fireworks show in the evening at Magic Kingdom. So thank you, Leah, for lending me your ears. In this video, I plan to break down the specifics of the Disney dining plan. Then I will have a follow-up video where I will also give you a practical application as I am currently deciding where to book my advanced dining reservations for our upcoming trip. I'll show you how to plan, to use all of my Disney dining credits, and maybe it'll give you a better feel for how the Disney dining plan can be best used to your benefit. So I feel like out of all the planning that goes into Disney vacations, the dining plan is the most debated, should we or shouldn't we, and the most confusing aspect of your vacation. So let's deal with the should we or shouldn't we. There are 3 questions to consider when deciding whether or not the dining plan is right for you. The 3 questions are, what are the options, what is the cost, and what is it worth to me? Now, I should mention that everything I'm going to be telling you about today is for the 2020 Disney dining plan. If you're looking at booking a dining plan in the rest of 2019, the plans are the same except the prices went up just a smidge for 2020, but you'll still be getting the same things in your package. So, what are the options? Disney has 3 options for the dining plan that range in price and convenience. First is the quick service plan. With this plan, you'll receive 2 snacks and 2 quick service meals per person per night of your Walt Disney World Resort stay. Now, if you're wondering what constitutes as a snack and what constitutes as a quick service meal, I shall explain now! You can find snacks at many food booths and counter service locations, and they are denoted with this symbol. They can range anywhere from $3 to $9 and can include beverages, treats like cupcakes, cinnamon rolls, or funnel cakes, or savory options such as cheesy fries. A quick service meal is a meal where you typically go up to a counter, order your meal, and then receive your food and sit to eat. You will not have a waiter at a quick service meal. Some examples would be Columbia Harbor House at Magic Kingdom, Backlot Express at Hollywood Studios, or Satuli Canteen in Animal Kingdom. Your meals at these quick service locations will include 1 entree and 1 beverage, and yes, it can be an alcoholic beverage if you are over 21 years old. Next option is the standard dining plan, and on Disney's website, they simply refer to this as the Disney dining plan, which can get a bit confusing since all the plans are dining plans, but in this popular option, you'll receive 2 snacks, 1 quick service meal, and 1 table service meal per person, per night of your Walt Disney World Resort stay. Now, I've already covered what a snack and a quick service meal are, but let's talk about table service meals. They are a meal in which you make a dining reservation, you sit down, order off a menu to your waiter, and then you are served by the waitstaff. These can include character meals as well, wherein you can meet your favorite Disney pals. Some examples of table service dining would be Our Guest for dinner at Magic Kingdom, Yak and Yeti in Animal Kingdom, 50s Prime Time Cafe in Hollywood Studios, and each country in the World Showcase at Epcot has their own table service location as well, featuring that country's delectable dishes. Something to note about these table service locations is that you should make advanced dining reservations or ADRs. For all of these locations, it is highly recommended. They can be made up to 180 days before your trip. One thing I want to mention here and be clear about is that Be Our Guest, which is an extremely popular dining spot in Magic Kingdom, is considered quick service at breakfast and lunch and table service at dinner. But you need to make reservations no matter what time of day you're planning to eat there during the day, whether it be breakfast, lunch, or dinner, because it fills up so quickly. Now, outside of that quick service dining of breakfast and lunch at Be Our Guest, most other quick service locations do not require advanced dining reservations, and most of them don't even offer that as an option. Okay, last option, the Disney Deluxe Dining Plan. This plan offers the most and is the most expensive. On this plan, you will receive 3 meals, quick service or table service, doesn't matter, and 2 snacks per person per night of your Walt Disney World Resort stay. A couple of things to note about this plan is that your table service meals for lunch and dinner not only include an entree and a beverage and a dessert, but they also include an appetizer on this plan. A couple of things to mention here, you can use your meal credits for quick service or table service, but the best bang for your buck will always be table service because those meals cost more. And if you're sitting down to a table service meal for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, that's a lot of your time every day just eating inside a restaurant. And there's so much to do at Walt Disney World, you really need to consider when looking at this plan whether or not you want to spend so much time inside of restaurants. Another thing each member of your family gets with any of these plans is this: a refillable mug. Now, the thing that is a little annoying is that it's only refillable with fountain beverages, coffee, or tea at your resort, not in the parks. Man, I wish you could refill it in the parks. But you do get a beverage with every meal. But it'd also be nice to get a drink whenever you please when you're walking around the park. But of course, there are those water stations at the parks, so you could just keep filling it up with water, which is better for you anyways and super important to hydrate in that Florida sunshine. So that answers our first question of what are the options? Now, what are the costs for each option? For the 2020 dining plans, here's what you're going to be looking at. The quick service dining plan will be $55 per adult and $26 per child per night. The regular dining plan or standard dining plan or Disney dining plan will be $78.01 per adult and $30.51 per child per night. And the deluxe dining plan will be $119 per adult and $47.50 per child per night of your Walt Disney World Resort stay. Now, a child is anyone between the ages of 3 and 9 at the time of travel. Anyone 10 and up will be adult pricing. Children under 3 are not eligible for the dining plan. Now, I will mention that when we go next year, our 9-year-old will be turning 10 while we're on the trip, and the cast member I spoke to on the phone said that he would be considered a 9-year-old for the dining plan because he'll be 9 when he arrives. So that's kind of nice. Now, obviously, I don't know how many people are in your family or how many nights you're planning to stay at Walt Disney World. So you'll have to get out your handy-dandy calculators and see how much this is going to cost you total. But as an example, when my family goes, we'll technically have 3 adults according to the dining plan and 2 kids. We'll be staying for 9 nights on the standard Disney dining plan. So our grand total will be $2,655.45. Whew! Sticker shock, anyone? My husband just decided we're not doing the dining plan anymore. Keep in mind that 9 nights at Walt Disney World is a long trip. And if your family is smaller than ours, and if they go for a shorter amount of time, like 4 to 5 nights, that number will be much smaller. So that answers our second question of what is the cost. But cost isn't quite the same thing as value and worth, now is it? And every family's needs, of course, are different. So now we're going to talk a little bit about, is it worth it for you and your family? Will you save money? Will you save yourself some headaches and stress? Those are all valuable things to look at. Now, if you're just talking dollars to dollars, it is possible to make the dining plan worth it for you. But you have to do your homework and you have to work the system correctly. And even then, you're more likely to just kind of break even with dollars eaten versus dollars spent on the plan. If you always order the most expensive thing on the menu, if you do your homework and only buy the snacks that are the most expensive and don't waste your snacks on things like bottled water, you can make the dining plan worth it strictly from a dollar bill perspective. But outside of that, some families, ours included, find value in the Disney dining plan other than just the bottom line. There is something wonderful about prepaying for everything in advance. And once you're at your vacation, having this feeling that everything is all inclusive. You also have this feeling while you're in the park of, we spared no expense. I don't know about you, but if I'm pulling out my wallet every time I go to eat on that vacation, I am not gonna splurge on a dessert every time. Or when my kid comes to me to get, "Mommy, I want an ice cream cone," I'm not going to say yes every time. But when you're on the dining plan and you need to use up those credits and get the most out of your plan, you turn those no's into yeses every time. And everyone feels like a prince or princess being pampered on their Disney vacation. And for my husband in particular, there's a switch that flips in his brain that everything is prepaid for, and it just makes everything more enjoyable for him and subsequently the rest of us as well. So for us, it's worth it. It may not be worth it for you if you have a family that eats like birds. If your family is not going to eat much on your vacation, this plan is probably not going to be worth it for you. Or it may not be worth it for you if you and or the rest of your family are vegetarians. The vegetarian options on the menu are almost always more cost effective, so you're really not getting much bang for your buck anytime you're dining. You'd end up saving money across the board just paying out of pocket if you are a vegetarian. This also may be the case for people with food sensitivities or allergies, but I'm really not quite sure. I haven't done a lot of research on that front. If you're one of those people, go ahead and research that. And finally, the Disney dining plan may not be worth it for you if you just don't have the money in your budget. I'm a big advocate of not going into debt to book your Disney vacation. If it is just not in the budget to pay for the Disney dining plan, don't do it! Simple as that. You can still have a blast on your Disney vacation if you stay off-site, eat a small breakfast before you go to the parks, and pack your lunch and dinner to eat in the parks. Do not break the bank for the resort stay and the Disney dining plan if it's not in your budget. So those were the 3 points I wanted to cover about the Disney dining plans. A few more things I wanted to add before the next video where I will give you some practical applications for using your dining credits. The dining plans do not include tips, so plan to pay out of your pocket for your gratitude for your server. And we have had great experiences with our waitstaff at Walt Disney World. Be sure to show your appreciation. You may have picked up on this before, but the credits are per person for every night of your resort stay. Not every day you're going to be in the parks. So depending on when you arrive and when you depart, this might get a little tricky. Keep it in mind when you're making those advanced dining reservations. Now, this is important. Some table service locations cost you 2 table service credits per person and not just the 1. Also, if your only prerogative is to get the best bang for your buck, then these locations with 2 table service credits may not be your best option. They will set you back twice as many credits, but the meal will not cost twice as much. They are more expensive, but not twice as expensive as your 1 credit dining service options. Also, if you plan to dine at one of these locations, you have to kind of juggle how you're gonna make that work with the rest of your credits. I'll go into this a little bit more in my practical application video. Now, you can only choose the dining plan option if you are staying on property at Walt Disney World. So if you are staying off property at an Airbnb or a different hotel, it's not an option for you and your family. And every member of your party must purchase unless they're 3 years old. You can't break it up, half the family and half not. It's gotta be your whole party. And not all places at Walt Disney World accept dining plan credits. Most do, but not all. There are resources and lists of every place that does accept the plan. Just do a little research on this before making those reservations and make sure they accept your Disney dining plan. Disney's own website denotes whether or not you can use your plan at different locations. Disney's website also denotes whether a location is quick service or table service, so you can check that as well. And guys, research the best bang for your buck snacks. You can find loads of blog posts and YouTube videos on this by people who are always in the parks, finding out which snacks are the most expensive that cost you only 1 snack credit. Many of these snacks are either large enough to share or large enough to be a meal in and of themselves. Guys, little tip, Epcot has a lot of great options for snack credits during their many festivals. Just so you know, 1 quick service credit can be converted into 3 snack credits, like magic. But the strange thing is that it doesn't go the other way. 3 snack credits cannot be used for 1 quick service. I'm not really sure why. Now, kids can order whatever they want at a quick service location, but they have to order off the kids' menu at a table service location if they're on the kids' dining plan for 9 years and under. One more thing I wanted to mention is that there are offers from time to time for a vacation package that includes free dining plans. I have friends who have done this and really enjoyed it. I am not an expert in this field. I've never done it before. I know there's usually restrictions on which resorts you can stay at and when, and some people have told me that they might up the price for the resort so that you're not actually saving as much money as you think you might be. But hey, it's something to look into nonetheless if you happen to be going in the time frame when free dining is available. I think they usually open these up a few months beforehand, and once the packages are gone, they're gone. And again, I've never done this before, but if it interests you, you should look into it. So there you have it, the Disney dining plan. Please stick around until you see the end screen of this video where you'll be able to click straight to my Disney dining plan practical explanation video. I'll have some visuals that you can follow along with to increase your understanding of the plan, and you can see what a plan in motion looks like as you get ready to make those advanced dining reservations. As always, please give this video a big thumbs up and click that button to subscribe to this channel so you don't miss out on any of the Disney fun. This is Melanie, and I'll see you next time on Lend Me Your Ears.